Title hopes dashed. That's what it's looking like for the Golden State Warriors, who gave up 120 points to a Victor Wembanyama-less San Antonio Spurs team, with Malachi Branham and Jeremy Sohan torching this defense that used to once be one of the top 5 in the NBA and put the clamps down on any defense, especially ones with teams that are looking at the lottery squarely in the face. In today's video, we're going to overview just what happened in this game and why the Warriors defense has been struggling this season specifically. As we play this clip right here, Malachi Branham's going to dribble the ball and essentially reject the screen from Jeremy Sohan. The Warriors love to run this no middle type set. Essentially what they're trying to do right here with Brandon Podziemski as well as Draymond Green is ensure that Branham cannot get to the middle of the floor. And they're doing a good job of it here, it seems like. Draymond Green is pretty much walling off the paint, and Brandon Podziemski is similarly doing the same thing. Jeremy Sohan, though, on the perimeter is completely wide open right here, and everyone is kind of looking at the ball just to make sure that nothing crazy happens on this play. We play the play a little bit more here, and Branham, it seems like, steps away from the middle of the paint. Now, Brandon Podziemski's in a good position right here to essentially wall them off from the paint, as well as Draymond Green. Their no-middle strategy is working right here. The only problem right here is Kuminga is forced with a hard choice. Does he stay? Does he commit to this Spurs player? Or does he go out to essentially the three-point line and contest Sohan? He's forced with the choice right here, and it seems like he kind of splits the difference, which doesn't really do the Warriors any good. He has to pick. And this is probably one of the reasons why Steve Kerr doesn't like to play young players. They oftentimes split the difference, are unsure what to do, and Draymond Green doesn't function well in these types of situations. It ends up that Kuminga chooses wrong and really second guesses himself, so Trayce Jackson-Davis still remains close to the paint. Now we have no Warriors on the perimeter whatsoever. There's just a mountain of space right here, and so Sohan gets the easy pass out to the perimeter, and he makes the easy three-point shot that really nobody had a chance to contest. And that's one of the big problems with the Warriors system right now. They just always overhelp, it feels like. Kuminga slid into the paint when he probably was supposed to flare out to the three-point line to contest Sohan or contest another three-point shooter because they had the other parts of the court covered. In this play right here, we have Sohan once again. He sees a wide open Spur in the corner because of the fact that the Warriors are seemingly playing this no middle type strategy once again, with Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Moses Moody all manning the center of the court, hoping that this pass, which is a difficult pass, I'm not going to lie, cannot happen. Now, this is something that the Warriors kind of give up, it feels like, a lot, especially whenever they have Draymond Green on the court. They want Draymond Green to be a roamer, and so whenever Draymond Green gets screened, they often struggle to help on the weak side. Now, Moses Moody does a really good job of closing out all the way from the center of the paint. He has a 7-foot wingspan, so he can put on a good contest on this ball, but he ends up driving right by him, and that's where the defense breaks down immediately. So now we have Draymond Green in help. He's in a good position right here. The real question is, what is Andrew Wiggins doing right here? He's kind of just standing here. It seems like Podziemski is splitting the difference once again between Sohan and three-point shooter. And it really feels like Wiggins should either press up and allow Podziemski to close out right here, or he should stay kind of in the painted area and move towards here to allow the Warriors to continue that no middle type strategy that they like to run. By not choosing an option, it makes the pass a lot easier to a three-point shooter, and Brandon Podziemski doesn't have the same length, doesn't have the same defensive tenacity as Moses Moody, so it's a lot tougher of a closeout for him, and he was trying to split the difference between the two players, and so this is a wide open three for an NBA three-point shooter, and he ends up making this. This indecisiveness on defense just can't be what the Golden State Warriors are. Although Andrew Wiggins has only been back for 1 or 2 games now, he needs to be decisive, and he's one of our best defenders, and he needs to be better on this team, specifically on the defensive end. In this next clip right here, we also highlight once again how the Warriors deal with these screen and roll actions. It seems like what they're trying to do is essentially make it so that they reject the screen, and that's what Moses Moody does by standing between the player with the ball and the screener. And by doing this, it forces the player to go kind of around the screen and go into a particular direction. Now, the issue with this right here is it seems like they don't get the memo. There's no communication right here. And right here, he drives right by everyone, and essentially there's nobody stopping him from the middle. The Warriors' no middle strategy isn't working so well, especially when Klay Thompson isn't on the other side of the screen. What you would have liked to see here instead is that if Moses Moody is going to get between the screener and the person with the ball, Klay Thompson should be right there to contain as soon as the guy rejects the screen. But he wasn't there, and that causes an easy rim run, and TJD does a great job trying to block the shot, but he isn't able to. And that's all because of this mistake that Moses Moody and Klay Thompson, in terms of their communication, made. They have to communicate better in the future and make sure that when they reject the screen, or they want them to reject the screen, that Klay Thompson is able to essentially be there and block them off from getting into the paint and getting ahead of steam. So this play right here, we have Keldon Johnson with the ball driving against Klay Thompson. He immediately beats him off the dribble, but Klay Thompson is nicely able to recover. But this causes the Warriors' chronic problem of overhelping. What you see right here, Andrew Wiggins collapses down. We have TJD in the paint as well. We have Chris Paul in the paint, and we have Moses Moody as well in the paint. Basically, everyone on the whole Warriors' entire roster is in the paint, and this makes it so there's a wide open three-point shooter right here, and there's a good outlet pass right here and right here. And I think in this specific situation, when you have a shot blocker like TJD, Wiggins, you don't need to commit so much to the interior. You can let him man the paint. After all, that's his job. That's the reason he's in the starting lineup. And because of this, Wiggins is a step behind. They pass the ball, and they end up making a pretty good wide open three-point shot. Now, I hit a little bit on TJD earlier, but I think the only way the Warriors can improve this defense with the defensive personnel they have right now, besides Andrew Wiggins getting better, is this guy right here, Trayce Jackson-Davis. He's an element that the Warriors have not had until this year, and that's a shot blocker at the rim. You just look right here. Branham's kind of driving the ball up the court, and it looks like in any Warriors type of system, unless this is Draymond Green, that they basically would have to concede this bucket. Trayce Jackson-Davis is even with him though, and he goes right up and swats that ball from getting in and blocks that shot. And that's going to be key for the Warriors. I think to prevent this overhelping, they need to trust somebody like Trayce Jackson-Davis in the paint to basically defend the rim while they stay home on outside shooters. The Spurs shot over 50% from three last night, and that isn't a coincidence. The Warriors overhelp in the paint and make people kick out to three-point shooters, but the league has just become so much better at shooting threes, and we just can't afford to give up those three-point shots like we once could. So we're going to have to rely on Trayce Jackson-Davis for the Warriors to actually make a difference at the rim and make sure that the Warriors do not overhelp. If you guys like this content about the Warriors and about their defensive scheme, please like, subscribe, and comment, and give us your thoughts on this upcoming Warriors schedule and what the rest of the Warriors season is going to be looking like. Thank you guys for listening.